Order, please. Welcome everybody to the July 15th work session. Chairman Nichols unfortunately could not be with us this morning. At this time, I'd like to ask Commissioner Jagged if he leads us in the pledge of allegiance and invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. God, Father, Lord, we are thankful for you kind to be about county business. Lord, we just ask that you would guide us, direct us, and do what's right. Lord, we just thank you again for getting us here safe, be with us through all these storms and weather we're having, Lord. Thank you again for all you do for us. That's thanks for that.
This time, we'll consider any additions or deletions to the published agenda.
Move to approve the agenda as presented.
Motion has been made, properly seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, Madam Clerk. Item number 4, the Tax Administrator Report of the Tax Settlement of the Board of Commissioners.
Good
Or
morning.
statement, I'm sorry. My bad.
Good morning. This morning, I'd like to present to the board the tax settlement for 2024. Try to navigate this thing here. So in an introduction here, I will highlight the summary of charges to the levy, the discovered levy, and the penalties collected, along with a year-over-year charges in each billing category. So collections is a team effort. The entire department plays a vital role in maintaining a strong focus on continuous improvement in both data quality and collection efforts. Total charges to the tax levy. You'll see there was a $77.6 million original billed amount. We saw a 5.41% increase in the total levy from last year to this year for real and personal property. You have a discovered levy, which is unlisted property, and we saw a 34.35% increase in our discovered levy. And then finally, in penalties, fees, and interest, we saw a 13% increase. So combined, these factors contributed to a combined $4.4 million in additional revenue over last year. Next, we have the total collections, which was $78 million. And in that, we saw the 5.9% increase in collections. And then our releases and adjustments are for changes to billing, whether that was an incorrect situs or the property had been sold and not reported to us in a timely manner. We saw an 11.27% decrease in those adjustments and releases, so I think that reflects our ongoing efforts to improve our data accuracy and reduce errors. And then lastly, you'll see the uncollected real and personal property amounts as of June 30th. Here we have a breakdown of the bills by each category. So you have real and personal and gap bills, and that collection finished off at 99.28%. This is in line with other counties of similar size and population to Harnett. 100% was collected from public service, 94.84% was collected from motor vehicles, and then our gap bills were at 56.57%. In Harnett County, we saw 135,717 vehicle renewals in the past year. If you exclude the gap bills from the real personal collection amount at the top, our collection rate would increase to 99.44%. These are the most difficult bills to collect because of their low amount and the cost to provide enforced collections on those. And then here we have a 5-year comparison by category. We did see minor fluctuations over the 5 categories, but as the county continues to grow, so does the tax base. So despite those shifting targets, we're still maintaining a 99% collection rate annually, and I believe that demonstrates a consistent and dedicated efforts from our staff. And finally, we have the total amount for all categories. So this would include real property, public service companies, individual properties, business, registered motor vehicles, and the gap bills. And so what we saw was a 98.52%. So across all those categories, billed, we did see, we billed and collected over $9 million total from last year to this year. So I believe that reflects a strong fiscal performance for our staff and improved processes that we've been working on. Are there any questions?
I just have one because I'm new
Okay.
to this.
Okay.
Can we explain the gap bills on the vehicles?
So the gap bills is the gap in the registration. So when you pay your registered motor vehicle tax, it is you pay the year forward, not the year behind. So if your vehicle renews in March and the tag lapses and expires and you do not renew it till June, then the time between March and June is the gap. So even though the vehicle is not registered motor vehicle, it is still a taxable motor vehicle. And so that's where the gap bills, it's a gap in the registration.
So when they register it, when they finally do register it, doesn't state collect that money?
They collect it from June to June the next year, and that creates the gap from March to June, and we're responsible for billing those.
And how do you go about trying to get that money?
We do send it out with our billing, and then once the bills go delinquent or they're not collected, we reach out by phone, email. If we cannot reach the citizen that way, then we will proceed with forced collections, which could be garnishments, and garnishments cost us about $22 a vehicle or a parcel, whatever we're garnishing. And a lot of these gap bills are less than $100. So it's not very cost efficient. So we really try to reach out one-on-one to the taxpayer first before we pursue any enforced collection methods.
Would there be a way that we could get DMV to, I mean, I know we're not the only county having this issue, I would imagine.
No, sir.
Is that they tie it back to the registration again, that they have to satisfy, that the county could put something, send DMV something where they would collect it like they do the regular taxes?
Yeah, that'd be great. But unfortunately, I think that would be more of a legislative change because this falls under the tax and tag, but the gap bill
That's what I'm
falls on the
asking.
county.
We
Yeah.
really need to have a conversation with our representatives and see if we can get that through, attached along with the regular
Yes, sir.
fees that they.
Yes, sir. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
All right, anything else from Ms. Wallace on this issue? Okay. Item number 5, discuss a request to charge the tax administrator with the collection of real and other property taxes for the 25-26 year and to collect delinquent taxes for 15 through 25.
Yes, sir. So in accordance with the statutory requirement, I'm requesting the Board of Commissioners to adopt and enter into the official minutes an order directing the tax administrator to collect the taxes for 25-26 fiscal year. So this order authorizes the tax administrator to bill and collect taxes for all real, personal, and public service properties within the county, to include all 5 municipalities, the fire districts, and any applicable special assessments. So we anticipate tax bills will be mailed during the first week of August, and therefore I request a motion and approval of the order to begin billing and collection process.
Move the consent agenda, please.
Yes, Bob? Yep. Put it on the consent agenda, Madam Clerk. All right, thank you, ma'am. Let's move on to item number 6, discuss a request for the approval of an updated interlocal agreement with the town of Broadway to include language regarding the collection of fire tax for the Cape Fear Rural Fire Department.
Okay. So in 2020, Harnett County and the town of Broadway entered into an interlocal agreement for the collection of property taxes on 5 parcels annexed into the town that are within the county. At that time, the agreement did not address the collection of fire district taxes, but however, the town of Broadway contracts with Cape Fear Rural Fire Department to provide protection services within the municipal boundaries. The legal department has revised the interlocal agreement to include the following language on page 3, item due to, that has been added to authorize the tax department, shall remit on behalf of the town of Broadway any collected fire district taxes pertaining to the annex parcel. We also added an additional item on page 6, item I, that would update the agreement. The updated agreement would supersede any prior agreements effective July 1st. So therefore, I'm going to request approval of the updated interlocal agreement so that we can bill and collect for Cape Fear Fire.
No consent agenda, Madam Clerk. Okay. Item number 7, discuss a request to amend the budget ordinance to make a technical correction in the special fire district tax levy section.
Okay, so while entering tax rates for the upcoming fiscal year, staff identified a clerical error in the special levy section of the 25-26 budget ordinance. The Duke Fire District was mistakenly listed as Irwin. While Irwin is a separate municipality with its own fire taxing district, it is not the correct name for the rural district within Harnett County, or in question here. So in July 2015, Irwin Fire and Rescue entered into a contract with Harnett County for fire protection services within the Duke Fire District. However, per the original ordinance in May of 2011, the proper and official name of the fire district is Duke. So to ensure consistency and accuracy, staff is requesting that the board amend the fiscal year 25-26 budget ordinance to correct the fire district name from Irwin to Duke. This correction does not impact the tax rate, but ensures proper designation and compliance with prior ordinances and agreements. Any questions?
Everybody good? On the consent agenda, Madam Clerk. All right, thank you,
All
ma'am.
right, thank you.
Development Services briefing on upcoming public hearings. Sarah?
Good morning, Commissioners. Sarah Arbor, Harnett County Development Services. So we will 2 agenda items coming before you at the July 21st regular board meeting. The first is a requested rezoning from the RA40 to the RA30 zoning district. This is a partial rezoning for approximately 14.85 out of 68.3 acres, located on a property in Oak Grove, Church Road in Angier, located in the Neels Creek Township. So the property can be described as a site which is comprised of 2 tracts of land, which are currently used for agricultural purposes. There are wooded areas, a pond, and unnamed stream, which are located on the property. And the property currently has split zoning, so approximately 54 of the 68 acres are zoned RA30, which is a requested zoning district. Surrounding land uses of the property consist of single-family homes as well as agricultural activities. Just to provide a little bit of background, so there is a preliminary major subdivision plat which has been submitted for the subject properties and has received 1 review by the Development Review Board. Subsequent reviews of this subdivision plan are not going to take place until the rezoning decision is finalized. But, however, subdivision of the property can and may likely occur, regardless of the outcome of this rezoning. Services available for the property include public water. The annual average daily traffic counts for the section of Oak Grove Church Road are about 1,700 daily trips. And site distances are described as good for the property. Next, we'll review the zoning district compatibility map. You can see, based on the map, the portion of the property zoned RA30, as well as the surrounding RA30 to the north, west, and south of the property. Next, staff has provided some photos of the site for your viewing. And for staff's evaluation, staff was able to answer everything in the affirmative. Staff found that the requested rezoning allows for the site to be developed under one set of zoning regulations and places the property in the same zoning category as the adjacent properties. It's just kind of better planning to have the whole property be developed under the same set of zoning regulations. So at the planning board hearing, the planning board did vote 4-1 to deny the requested rezoning. They brought up concerns about compatibility with the land use classification, as well as the surrounding agricultural land uses. There were several residents from the community who also attended our planning board hearing. There was one who kind of spoke on behalf of everybody. We did receive letters as well. The main concerns from those residents who were opposing this were traffic, the impacts to the surrounding community, as well as incompatibility of the future development with the surrounding community. So that's all here from staff, and I'm here for any questions. Thank you.
Any questions for staff? Put it on for public hearing for next week.
It's when you're scheduling it, right?
I'm so sorry. Could you repeat that?
You're wanting to have the hearing on it next week?
Yes.
Yes, sir. That would be at July 21st.
And I got one more question. And I guess the answer is here. 4-1 vote on the board.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct. To deny the requested rezoning.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Put it on the consent agenda for next week.
Not, public hearing.
Yeah, public hearing, I'm sorry. Got too many things going on in my head this morning. All right, you got another one, do you?
Yes, sir. So our next case that we'll be bringing before you is Plan 2506-0002. And this is a requested text amendment brought to you by the Harnett County Development Services. It would be a revision to Article 5, Sections 8.3.4C and 11.6.2B4. And this proposed text amendment would be to update the street light standards in the Unified Development Ordinance. So this is found in two sections of our Unified Development Ordinance under storage and self-many warehouse, as well as manufactured home park is where this regulation is located. So it was brought to our attention by a current Board of Adjustment member, Mr. Walter Massey, who is also a retired employee from Duke Energy, that our current standards of a 175 mercury vapor light are irrelevant, and they no longer meet the industry standards. So what staff is proposing is to change our requirement to a 50-watt LED light. This is, of course, after coordinating with a representative from Duke Energy to make sure that this would be compatible with industry standards. And the planning board voted favorably, 5-0.
Questions for staff?
No, put it on the agenda.
So let me ask a question if I may. So this would be a change going forward. So those that are already in existence will not have to go back and upgrade just as their life expectancy or life ends and have to be replaced.
Yes, sir, that is correct. This will not affect any existing streetlights.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Put it on for public hearing next week, Madam Clerk.
Thank you.
All right, item number 9, discuss a request to approve a contract in the amount of $959,700 for McKim Creed related to the lead and copper rule revision compliance program. Mr. Burns.
It's a mouthful. Good morning, Commissioners. This request is to award a design contract for $959,700 for our lead and copper compliance program. This is the third phase of this project. The first two phases identified that Harnett Regional Water had about 3,700 services of unknown material. That means we don't know if it was lead or copper or PVC or plastic. The majority of those are going to be in the town of Irwin, which is the oldest part of our infrastructure. So this project would identify the materials of those services and then allow us to go into the final phase of the project, which would be the replacement of those services. The funding for this project was secured through a $1 million state revolving loan fund appropriation. And of that, $600,000 of that is principal forgiveness. So we would have about $400,000 that we'd have to finance for this project. And we would like your permission to move forward on that.
Consent.
Put it on the consent agenda, Madam Clerk. Okay. Item number 10, discuss a request to amend the budget ordinance to lower the commercial water tap on fee 1-inch service.
Thank you, sir. When the commissioners adopted the budget ordinance, they adjusted the 2-inch commercial taps, but they did not address the 1-inch commercial taps, and that created an inequity for us where a 1-inch commercial tap was more than a 2-inch commercial tap. So we would just like to ask for y'all to revise that so that there's, that would put a 1-inch tap at a $2,200 tap fee and a $3,000 system development fee. That's for a commercial tap.
$5,200.
Yeah, $5,200, that's right.
All right. Any questions for staff?
Consent.
Yep, put it on, say consent.
Yeah, I
Put it
did.
on the consent agenda, Madam Clerk.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Burns. Discuss upcoming appointments to the Board of Trustees for Central Carolina Community College. Mr. Trout?
Thank you, Chairman. Today we bring before you information related to appointments to the Central Carolina Community College Board of Trustees. Trustee Jim Bergen's term and Trustee Gordon Springle's term both expired on June 30th, 2025. Our Board of Commissioners is entitled to one one-year appointment and one 3-year appointment beginning in terms July 1, 2025. The board is basically reorganizing, so these initial terms are shorter than the normal 4-year term that will occur after this initial appointment. Our Board of Commissioners is entitled to 2 appointments. Those appointments will be for, as I said, a one-year term and one 3-year term. Once we begin this process, our appointments will be staggered every 2 years, where the Board of Commissioners will have one appointment to make. The only restrictions that relate to who can serve on the CCCC Board of Trustees are they cannot be members of the General Assembly, and the individuals must reside within the college's administrative area or contiguous counties. And you cannot be individuals employed by the college in the past 5 years or spouses or children of individuals currently employed full-time by the college. So the board is now able to make recommendations on who to serve for those terms.
Manager, I'd like to, on the 1-year term, nominate Brooks Matthews to serve on there. We need a county commissioner on that board.
Yes.
I've dealt with it for a number of years, and we all have, and I'd like to nominate him for that. We can, I guess, put it on for a vote for the next meeting. Is there any other nominations?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to say, prior to the reorganization, there was an opportunity for the Board of Education to recommend a representative. During that time, Ms. Gina Marsh served as the last recommended person that the Board of Education had recommended, and her term had expired a year or 2 ago, I think. But cutting to the chase, if you will, she did a good job representing, I think, the affairs of public education in Harnett County, cooperation with and communication with the community college, and I would recommend her for appointment to this 3-year term that would be remaining.
Any other nominations? If not, we'll put it on the consent agenda.
We'll put those 2 names forward for your approval.
All right. Move on to item number 12. Review applications for boards and committees.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we move forward with Mr. Carl H. Johnson at large for District 4.
All right. For a second? Or you just want to put that on for consent agenda? Consent agenda for next week. What, on District 2?
District 4, it's District 4. Then the next one is District 2.
Yeah, the next one's Mr. LD Black, Lemuel Black. He's served before. He's done a good job. I know him. He's an upstanding member of the community.
we'd be well to get him back on farms for a living. Juvenile Crime Prevention Council.
Mr. Chairman, I would support the or the application submitted by Mr. Derek Williams to serve on the Juvenile Crime Prevention Council, representing District 3.
Okay. Anybody else?
Ms. Booker is District 2.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Ms. Booker is District 2. Sharon Booker is District 2.
Okay, I had not looked at it yet. I'll recommend Ms. Booker for District 2 then. Mr. Williams is District 3. Okay. All right, any other recommendations? On the consent agenda?
Yes, sir.
On the consent agenda, Madam Clerk. All right, County Manager's Report, Mr. Trout.
Thank you, Chairman. The only thing I have is that there was a mobile pharmacy event that was conducted on June 20th. That event helped provide over 1,034 residents with over-the-counter medications at no cost to them. I emailed this morning more detailed information related to that, so you can check the attachment, and it shows the good work that was done and how helpful that is to a number of our residents. Alliance Health was a co-sponsor of that event and helped finance the expense of the medications that were received by the individuals. So that's all I have.
All right. We've got a need for a closed session.
Mr. Chairman, I move the board go into closed session for the following purposes: to discuss a certain personnel matter. The motions made pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318-11A6.
Second.
Motion has been made, proper seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Melissa.
Yeah, it's all right. Y'all just do it from right there. We're back in session after a closed, session. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Somebody second.
Second.
Motion has been made, properly second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll be adjourned at the sound of the gavel.